hello everyone. Today I'm going to share a little project that I've just made with you, and these are some Pincushion Christmas trees, and I've made them out of some crockery. Well, one is some crockery and one is I think it's an old Avon milk glass vase, and I've just used the concept of the upside down strawberry pattern, made it larger, and I position them on these two lovely vessels. This is like a small soup bowl or tureen or whatever you want to call it, and this one's the little vase like an urn, and I've used mostly laces from Luscious Laces on Facebook, and just a couple of doily of my own, and obviously the pearls of my own, and the lovely bling pieces that are around the vessels. So I will just go up slowly, and this is a tutorial, and I don't know how long it will be, and let me know if you think they need anything else on them, because you know, sometimes you finish something and then you see it, I think it just needs something a little bit extra. I mean, they look very pretty, I think, and these can be used all year round, of course, especially if you have a craft room. You can pop them in your craft room. They're so pretty. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and if you're not interested, then thank you for watching this part. Bye bye. Okay, so we're making a strawberry, and this is the goblet that I'm going to use, and I want a tall, narrow Christmas tree. So for a fat strawberry, you would cut a half circle. If you want a tall, a slimmer style strawberry to look more like a Christmas tree, then you have to cut a slice off. On the first one I made, I cut off a piece, I cut this piece off like that, but I found that that was still quite wide, so with this one I'm going to cut it here, and let's just hope that that turns out alright. So we have our half tree. Now I'm just going, because I only cut these by eye, so I'm just going to trim that up like that. Okay. Now the first one I actually sewed on the sewing machine, but I thought for those ladies that glue, it might be a good idea to try and do this by gluing. And I was going to, I glued the lace on afterwards because I wanted to avoid the bulk, so I'll do the same thing here. So all I'm using is, I'm using a good quality craft glue. It does dry quite quickly, and I'll just put, there will be a little bit of sewing involved, but not a lot. So I'll just put, and trust me, I do find it easier to sew these, but not everybody sews, not everybody has a sewing machine, not everybody wants to sew. So just hold the point there, and with the right sides together, just press that down, and you really have to allow time for glue to dry, because if you start turning things inside out and things like that, it will pull apart, and you really don't want that. And this is some wedding dress satin I'm using. There are a couple of little marks on it, I think, but that's okay because I'm putting lace over the top. I just wanted the shininess going through the lace. And I decided to use this lace that I bought from Luscious Laces because it's a stretchy lace, so once everything dries it's easy to maneuver around the shape of the tree. So I'll be back in a minute. I just want to allow time for that to dry. Okay, that's almost dry. Oh, my daughter's home. Now I'm just going to thread a large needle so I can run a gathering stitch around the base. So a double thread, and I can do that while that's still drying. So I'll start at the seam there, and excuse me, you can sew that over like that and sew a running stitch, or you can leave it. It depends how much you think your fabric's going to fray. This one doesn't actually appear too bad at all, so I'll just run a stitch around there, plus I can glue a bit of lace over the other side once it's finished, and that will stop any fraying. So just a nice large running stitch, not too close to the edge, just in case a little bit does fray. You can notch the end of your cotton there to hold it in. I actually like to leave tails on the end to tie it together once I've finished pulling it through, but everybody has a different way they like to do things. Okay, so that has all been stitched around the edge there, just in a large running stitch. I'm just going to trim that, being careful. Perhaps I should have used a little bit more thread to have longer tails, but I'll just be careful. I'm going to turn it through now, and let's just hope that glue has set. Now, I haven't made one using glue before, so this is all trial and error. May work, may not work, so we'll find out together. So we've got our threads there. We've got an old, I think it's an old pen base. I really like it. It has a thin blunt end on one end for poking, getting things up like that, without going through. It's not sharp enough to actually go through. And then this end, because it's got a bit of metal, kind of rough metal on the end, I can use it to push stuffing in, and it grips hold of the stuffing. Okay, so that's our little Christmas tree. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff it with some stuffing, and I'm going to use small pieces of stuffing. Like, if you've got a piece of stuffing that big, just pull it apart a bit and stuff it like that, because after a while stuffing kind of gets hard and mats together. It kind of felts itself after a while as it ages. And my stuffing's from old cushions, so it's pre-loved cushion stuffing. So all I'm going to do now is stuff it, and I will be back. Okay, so I've stuffed all that, and now I'm just pulling that tight into the center like that. Okay, so I'm just putting that there to stop the glare from the desk a little bit. I have finished stuffing it, and I can pull my cushion in like that now. So I can knot that together. Okay, so there we have our little tree shape made. It's not quite as fat as the other one I made, which is good because this is a smaller vessel that is holding it. It's going to go like that. See, it's still quite large, but that's okay because by the time you get a bit of lace around the bottom, it should balance it, hopefully, all out. Otherwise, I'll just have to find a different something different to put it in. If I were using this as a pincushion, I would stuff it a bit more. I probably wouldn't use satin anyway, but this is being covered with lace, so that wouldn't be a problem. But like, it can still be used quite easily as a pincushion, and you wouldn't see any pulls in the satin at all. But remember, satin does leave marks, so only use it for pincushions probably if you're covering it with lace. Now the way I did this was I glued it, but I want, see the scallop edge? I want that going down the bottom, going like down that back seam like that, so it finishes it off nicely. Now I'm just kind of gauging where I'm going to be cutting, or there's probably a much easier way to do this, but this is the way I did it, so I'm thinking there. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that up like that. And remember, this is a stretch lace, so I can stretch it over if it's being cut just a little bit too short. So that's the shape that I'm using. It's kind of like a rectangle, but one of the sides has been cut at an angle. Now I'm running, and that glue has held really well, hasn't it? So I'm going to run a bead of glue up that back seam, all the way up to the top, and I'm going to place that top part there. As long as my top's alright, it's fine, and the rest of it I'm going to just put down that back seam there, and that way, hopefully all going well, this part will stretch over like that and finish that back part off. You may notice that looks like it's up, but by the time that dries, I can stretch that down, and that will tighten everything up there as well. So these stretch laces actually do have, you know, they come in quite handy on things like this. Just move that over a little bit like that. Oh, okay. So now I'm going to put another bead of glue down here like this. And if you were sewing, you could sew your lace directly to your fabric before you make it. But like I said, this is quite a thick lace, so I didn't want to add any more bulk to this at all. I think I might have miscalculated a bit there. Let's have a look, that might work. Okay. There we go. Looks about right. Just didn't have it quite high enough at the top there. Now we will let that dry. That's her back seam. See how it's got the scallop going down the back, so it kind of looks a bit neater. And then this will all pull down. Real point on that one, didn't I? That's okay. That's okay. It's meant to be a Christmas tree. We'll work something for the top, and that will all pull down, and I'll glue it. I will trim that corner off there, just so there's not too much bulk underneath it. Okay, so, and then you just go around. You could even decorate this with lace once you've put it on its little stand as well, whichever way you feel more comfortable doing. Okay, so just even it out how you want it. You know, it didn't turn out that much skinnier than the last one at all, even with taking that extra piece of fabric off. It really didn't turn out that much narrower, which is that's okay. That kind of looks, you know, it looks looks cute actually. So okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so this is the wider one and that is the narrow one. There's not a huge amount of it's actually taller, a little bit narrower. So what I have decided is perhaps not to use that for something else. I have my little vase here and it has been washed out, but it's stained and that's why I'm using it. Put that one on that, like that, and decorate it. And then this one is going to go on this, which is a little soup, you know what I mean, a soup bowl. I'm making a cushion to go in there, like that, and I have a tutorial on making this sort of thing already, which I will link below, and that is going to sit on top like that. How cute. So I'm in the process of just making this. So I've tied that off and I'm just going to even out the, I didn't overstuff it because I want it kind of squishy and flat, and so I didn't make it hard. So I'm just going to, I mean, I don't even have to put stitches going like that around this. I have knotted it a few times. If I wanted to, I can just stick something over it. I am going to use this part of a doily though to go over it. I'm sure it's not too, if your gathers are quite even, there's a lot of fabric in this. I don't mind the pleats, I mean we all know they're going to be there. So I'm going to put this doily over the top like that. Isn't that pretty? And I might actually put a few pins in that because I want it to be pretty even and not move around too much while I'm gluing it, because I don't really want any glue on the side parts, because if I do decide to use it as a pincushion, I want to be able to put my pins in it. So what I want to do now is just glue like that. Glue those parts down like that so it covers it nicely, and that should look alright with that. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Okay, so a little bit of glue. Just on that butterfly. And if you sort of go from one side and then do the other side, it'll probably stay more even. I'm probably out of shot. Oh, yes I am. Okay, I need to move these over here and move that there. Sorry about that. So I've just glued these two butterflies, and now I will glue the side ones. They don't need a lot of glue. And these little soup bowls, I don't know if you'd call those ramekins or not. That's what I was thinking of. They usually have a handle, but I don't use these. I found them at the thrift store. I've got two. I found them at the thrift store quite a long time ago, and they're mainly ornamental because I thought they looked pretty, but I've never used them for food. And I thought, well, let's, you know, make things usable. So we've got that, and now we're going to glue those butterflies there. And I could probably trim those bits off, and that will make it a bit easier, I think. Okay, so that's that all glued, and that's the top. I can take those out. I don't even have to do anything on the top because it just stays in position like that. If I've got any bits sticking up like here and I just want to flatten them, just put a little bit of glue under there to keep things tidy. Yep, that should be alright. Okay, see there's a little rip. That wasn't, you know, that was sort of when I bought the doily. So I'm putting a small amount of glue on there. I won't even see it because the tree's going on top, but just so it sits nice, I will just join it back up like that. Okay, one bit under that little bit. There we go. That way it'll keep its shape and its look. Okay, that's nice, isn't it? What are we doing? Now I could put a little doily or something under that if I wanted to neaten it up. I won't need to, it's going to get stuffed into here like that. Whoop. Okay, or you could have it like on top like that, but I kind of like it stuffed in. Just try and think what I'm going to do now first before I make anything permanent. Let's go on there like that, which is really cute. I kind of wanted that a bit squishier, so like that. I wanted to, that's annoying me, not that it makes any difference, it's still, I thought I might use this lovely trim that I got from Luscious Laces. I just have to work out how I want to use it, because I really like the shape of the bowl, so I don't want to lose that. You know, some things they can be overdone, and I don't want that, so I go like that. Kind of just want it there, but I don't want to see. You've got to be careful it doesn't lose its shape and get covered in with lace, and then you can't see anything. Okay. Maybe like that. That way you've just got that little ruffle around the bottom, and I'm still seeing the lovely, lovely shape of the bowl. I can always take it off if it doesn't look any good, so let's just have a try. And then I'll put that in there like that. Hopefully that's straight. Let's just get rid of that little bit. There's that. Oh, should have ordered much more of that trim. Isn't it pretty? Okay. So now we want to kind of be putting... Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you still see all the lovely bowl. I do like that. That is just beautiful like that, isn't it? Oh, isn't that lovely? I do. Oops, I've tucked it in a little bit there, so be careful of your little tucks and things. There we go. So we're just trying it. I have to take it back out to glue it in. Oh, that's really pretty. And that will go on there, like that. But I need something under there, perhaps. Oh, dare I put more of that? That might be overdoing it just a little bit, I think. Let's have a look. I think I'm tempting fate a little bit here to do that. Although, oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty? Do you think that's overdoing it a bit? No. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, wow. I might need a bow on the front or something. And some... Ooh. Look at that. A bit there. It really does look quite pretty, doesn't it? With the 2 layers. I don't even know what's going on top here. I might not even get that far. I might put more of this on top. Oh, there's a thought. Oh gosh, I don't think I'll do this, but I just want to try. Yes, look at that. If you had a bigger one, it could work. If you had a bigger one, perhaps not with it facing up, maybe with it facing down. If you had a bigger one, without the base part, that would actually look quite nice on a Christmas tree, wouldn't it? Look at that. That's really pretty, but I don't think I'm going to go that far with this. That does look pretty, doesn't it? But no, we're not going to do the whole tree. Settle down, Jeanette, settle down. I do like that, that's lovely. Okay, so we want a piece of this around the base as well. Just knocked it off. Okay. So, we'll go there, that will go there. Oh, that's so pretty. Got no sparkle yet, have we? Got no sparkle. Need some sparkle. Let's think. Think. Okay, we might just sit that there for a minute. That's what it's looking like so far. Okay, we'll move that over here. And we'll have a little look at this one now. Now this is a bit taller and a bit more narrow, but that's okay. Are we making them to match? That doesn't look good there, does it? Does it? That one needs something extra on it. I have the outside of the doily that I used on the bottom pincushion there. I wonder if maybe I could, oh, that could work that way. I could put that there. Okay, I'm going to trim all these little bits off it to make it easier to work with, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've cut all those bits off the top, so I've got this really nice piece of lace to play with now. And I think all I will do is just see what happens. I'm just going to gather it around like that as I put it on. Come on, stick. Doesn't want to stick. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, not too sure about that. I can still take it off. Maybe it should have been inside. Oh, hang on. Let's not give up hope yet. Maybe. That looks okay. I feel like I just need a little one in the middle though. Just to cover that little bit there. Yeah, I think I do. See, they're pretty, isn't it? Okay, I'll be back. I need to find a little lace. I'll be back. Okay. Some of you may recall last year I made a Christmas tree. I have used some of the flowers on the Christmas tree. I will link to this in the description box below. And I was just thought, well, before I start making any flowers and things, let's just see if one of these flowers on here, like, see that? Would fit the bill type of thing, like that. Okay, I'm back, and I have this lovely lace. Now, I kind of purchased these lace for a certain project. This was not the project, but that's okay. So let's just have a little look. Because although that looks a bit yellow, that's only really the band part that makes it look yellow. And if it goes like that, it might just be quite alright under there, like that. I think that's quite pretty. If I just gather that up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to cut a little band off the top. Okay, that's done. Now we have to now we have to put it on there and see how much we need, whether it's going to look any better, which I think it will. I think it will. Like that. Pretty. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think we've... There always seems to be one side that's a little bit nicer than the other side, isn't there? So I think that might be... Oh, they both look pretty anyways. Okay. Okie dokie. And we're putting this on. Like that. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And we're going to put a bow at the front there, and that will be, I'll make sure I get that on nice and even. And we have to decide what we're going to do with the tree. Maybe we'll just... Oh. That's it. Okay, we need a bow. Now, I had a bow here not long ago. I don't know if it's any good. My cat jumped up on something and knocked one of my bottles down and broke it, and this was a bow that was attached to the bottle, and I'm wondering whether that might... Oh, it might be a bit too much. Yeah, it's definitely too much, so that's not going to work there. I think we need some pearls on it, like decorations. It's pretty. I don't actually have... This is... They're my flat back pearls, that's all I got. They'll look pretty on there. Okay, not quite sure where I was up to, but there's all the pearls put on that one now. I think it looks kind of cute, just needs a couple of eyeballs, and it reminds me of a little, I don't know what it reminds me of, but it just, you know, like, it feels like that's the arm, that's a ruffle around the neck, and that's the head. But anyway, it's supposed to be a Christmas tree. I still have to work out what to do around here, but while I'm thinking of that, I need to sort of get this one fixed up, because, oh, okay, we've glued that on. I was forgetting where I was up to on this one. So we're good to put that straight on. We don't need really anything else on this one. It's because it's got the double ruffle. That one looks fine. Ooh, so there we go. That one's glued on. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. So now I have to decide, do I want the same pearls on this one as I've got on that one, or that might be a little bit much. What about some of this beaded, what's it called? Like a pearl spray type of stuff. I love this stuff, and I haven't used it for such a long time. I think last time I used it might have been last Christmas. Oh goodness, that's no good, is it? So maybe that would look pretty on it. A bit different to this one, because you don't want them all exactly the same, do you? Maybe a longer piece. Sort of start it down the bottom. Same. Oh, what about what if I did some silver on there around, and then on this one I could, I was going to suggest put little silver ones every so often, but I would have to, I don't think I have. Oh, I could. I guess I could just glue them on and take my time. Okay. So I'm going to attempt coiling this one around here to make it more Christmassy, and gluing some tiny little silver ones on here, just so they sort of have something in common there. And I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to probably start down the bottom and coil it around, and then maybe I'll stick the big ones on so it doesn't take as long. We'll see. I'll be back. Okay, so I have done that. That's all done. Okay, so this is, that's the front there. This is that I just put a few silver ones, not a lot, just a few to break it up. And this is how this one turned out, and I think it's just nice, isn't it? I know there's a lot you could do to it, but I think that's really pretty. Now I just want something along the edge of this, and I'm hoping I have what I'm looking for. Where would I find that? Okay, so I found this, which is a belt. That may work. And it's even got a buckle on it. Maybe I could use the buckle as well. What do you think? That's quite pretty, and oh, wouldn't the light would just catch that beautifully, wouldn't it? Kind of looks cool hanging down on an angle, but I think I'll put it on straight. Have I got enough? Yes. I should definitely have enough. So it's whether I can cut it, isn't it? There. And there and there. Okay. Okay, so my son's home now, so I will be probably just doing fast motion. You can see I've straightened it up, glued it. I am going to put the chain on the other side, but just the plain part on the back. And when I was looking for that, I also found this old piece of necklace as well that I had. So I'm thinking, and I haven't had a look yet, but I'm thinking maybe I could I was kind of, how tall is it? Maybe it's too big, I don't know. Oh, hang on, maybe we can, no, that would look silly. I just wanted like a little scoop like that, because I really think that's all that might need. Maybe I could use the chain around that bottom part there. I don't know. I'll work something out as we go. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. So anyway, I will fast motion now, because as you can hear, he doesn't like keeping quiet, and I don't want him to, so enjoy.